Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Cuba Libre. It looks pretty good until now, I guess. I control the government. The other three factions are controlled by the bots. An important factor is that thanks to Ambassador Smith, the US alliance is still firm. So I don't have to pay too much resources for my operations. And I also have a lot of money. That's definitely an advantage. I got a base here in Oriente. I control at the moment Las Villas and all three cities. And Habana. So until now I'm feeling quite confident. Let's see what the next cards bring. So we have here the guerrilla life, and then the next card would be MAP. That would be a government momentum, which is basically good because right now I'm ineligible anyway. So in the next turn I might get this government momentum card. Let's see what the background for this card is. The guerrilla life. The guerrillas of the 26th July and other factions suffered many deprivations, whether they were starving in the mountains or being hunted by secret police in the cities. Those who adopted to the life were nearly impossible for the government to overcome, despite the seemingly overwhelming advantage in man and material committed against the insurgents. Okay. So, the Directorio is here the first player, and he's playing the event. Let's see, it seems hardships harden 26th July fighters, or 26th July rallies flip guerrillas underground even if placing. Now let's see. Is there a special rule for this card if the Directorio plays it? Doesn't seem so. Okay. Yes, there is indeed. Down here, the guerrilla life. Use the shaded text. So that's possibly an advantage for me. It says hardships harden student revolutionaries. Flip all DR guerrillas underground. Place one DR guerrilla in a city. Okay, what I didn't understand actually is this, as far as I know, if the 26th July rally, the guerrillas would be placed underground anyway, so I don't really understand, even if placing, why should you place these guys active? I mean, whatever, but it's not important right now. Flip all DR guerrillas underground, place one DR guerrilla in a city. Okay, so basically it is placed in a city. Let's see if there is a special rule where to place this guy. Well, actually, I don't think so. I haven't found any instructions if there would be a priority to any one city. So I'm simply going to roll a die. 1, 2 is Havana. 3, 4 is Camagüey, and this would be Santiago. 5, 6 is Santiago de Cuba. Okay, so they go to Havana, which is probably the best for them. Okay, so that was the Directorio, and then it's 26th of July, and they will follow the flow chart. So let's see. If they do a terror, could they kidnap, sabotage, or shift? I think they could kidnap in Santiago de Cuba. Oh, no, they couldn't, because they would need more. They would need more guerrillas than police. Yeah, the guerrillas had to exceed the police. So that's not possible. They also cannot kidnap here, because there are no syndicate units or well, you can do it only in cities, economic centers, or open casino spaces. Okay, so that is also not possible. What about sabotage? Nope, you can only sabotage economic centers, and right now there is no red unit in the economic centers. And well, a shift is possible here. It could shift to passive opposition if they do a terror action there. So they're gonna do this. Yeah, okay. That means they're gonna activate this guy here. Place a terror marker here. And then more here in the city. And followed by this terror, we see a shift to passive opposition now. As you can see here, could be any spaces with underground guerrillas. Cost 1 resource per city. In each selected space, activate 1 underground guerrilla. Add a terror marker and shift. Support opposition 1 level toward active opposition. Okay. So he has to play 1. He has to pay 1. And he gains 1 support point. And then it says kidnap. In 1 space with terror, operation, and 26th July guerrillas exceed police. This is not the case. So it says here at the 3rd point, if no targets, no special activity. Okay. So that was then the operation of 26th July forces. And the end of the turn. Okay, let's see what the next card is. It's this MAP. Next card would be Lara Zabal then. Okay, so the MAP Military Assistance Program was a key element of US aid, and many of the best Cuban troops were trained by the United States. Many of those troops were kept close to Havana. However, so few troops or heavy weapons were committed to the insurgent campaign. Okay. Well, I could do this. Until propaganda, government may accompany limited operations with a free special ability activity. I don't think this is that great, actually. Because most of the time, if I'm second, the I mean, these limited operations only take place if the first player in the turn does an operation and then if you are the second player, you can do a limited operation, which means that the operation can only affect a single space and usually no special activity. In this case, it affects a single space, but you can use also a special activity. Problem is now, in the solitaire game, the first player will usually activate the event, and if it's a non-player faction, it will usually activate the event and not do an operation. So I will usually not be in the situation that I can do a limited operation anyway. I could either do a full operation or activate the event, which is, yeah, if I'm first player. So I think that I won't do this. The other thing would be replace a cube with any 2 guerrillas. This is not great, but I think it's not that terribly. What I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to do an operation, and I think I'm going to sweep now. So let's see. Enter areas to locate enemy, gain control. I can do this in any cities or provinces. Move any troops into adjacent selected spaces, then activate 1 guerrilla for each cube there. In a forest, activate 1 for every 2 cubes, because they're harder to find there. Okay. Now let's see. I'm definitely going to do this in Havana, because I don't want these Directorio guerrillas do a terror action, which would bring down the support, because Havana brings me 6 points and I don't want to lose any support in Havana. Then I can do this also in Las Villas, and I could also move here to Camagüey. It would be an option. It's not that expensive, so I could do it. On the other hand, I mean, I could be really aggressive and move here into the Sierra Maestra and try to attack these guys right in their heart. Would be interesting to do this, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I think I'm gonna move here. So let's see. We can activate all these 3 guerrillas here in Havana, because I got 6 cubes there. So they will be not able to do a terror operation in Havana right now, because you have to have an underground guerrilla if you want to do a terror operation. And then we can move with 3 troops into the Sierra Maestro and then activate these 2 guys here. So I think that's definitely not a bad idea. And I can also activate here in Las Vegas this guy. So that means I have to pay $6. Brings me down to 31. And then I have a special activity left. Okay, I think I'm gonna do an airstrike. I'm just not sure where. I could do it here at the Sierra Maestra. I could also do it in Las Villas. Maybe I'm gonna do it in Las Villas. So I can simply remove this guy and this is it then. Okay. So that was my operation, and then it's the Syndicate bot, and he's gonna do an event. And let's see. This is MAP. Yeah, here we go. MAP. That's a special. Choose ops and special activity instead. So let's see. Syndicate could add guerrilla where casino has none. Yes, that would be the case here, I guess. So they will rally. Okay. First, place one guerrilla per space with any casino and no syndicate guerrillas. Fine, so we got one here, Pinar del Rio, one here, Havana, and there is no restriction. They can place them in any space. If it's controlled by the government, or if there is a support or not, doesn't matter at all. Opposition, this doesn't all matter. And this one goes to Havana, and I'm going to count. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces and 6 pieces of the government, so there is still a government control here. There are these markers in case it's kind of not that easy to see who has control in a space, so that we don't have to count all the time. There is a marker there to indicate who controls a space. Okay, and so we got these 3 areas here. That was the rally, the first rally action, and then it says, then where any open casino, cube and all syndicate guerrillas active, flip guerrillas underground. Okay. Okay, this is nowhere the case because there are no active casino guerrillas, syndicate guerrillas. Okay, and then we see a special activity, and that is profit. Place up to 2 cash with syndicate guerrillas. First with syndicate has no cash, then with no enemy, then at random. Okay, so that means first, these are the cash markers, and they will give the syndicate resources. The first one would be here at Pinar del Rio. By the way, we have to pay 3 resources for this rally action. Here we go. And then the second one Syndicate has no cash, then with no enemy. Well, that is not the case, so we have to place the second one randomly. Okay. So let's see, let's take this one, first one, that one, the second one. Okay, so this goes here to Havana. Okay, so that was the syndicate, and that was this turn. By the way, just an explanation. I did an operation in the last turn, and then the Syndicate also did an operation. Now you could think, hey, if the first player does an operation, I just explained the second player can only do a limited operation, which affects only one space. In general, that's true, but not if you play against the bots. Bots don't do limited operations. They can always do a full operation. So, next turn, Lara Zabal. Lara Zabal. Okay, here we go. So, let's see, that is number 16. Wolfgang Lara Zabal, interim president of Venezuela in 1958, provided vital arms including M1 grenade rifles, Browning automatic rifles and hand grenades to the guerrillas in the Sierra Maestra. He died in 2003 at 91. Well, that isn't so great. So, 26 July starts, and it says Venezuelan junta supplies arms, place a 26 July base where there is a 26 July peace. Okay, so that means they're gonna place a base. I wonder if we're talking about a single base, but probably not. Probably everywhere. So that means we see one here and another one here in Santiago de Cuba. There is a maximum of bases, and that is 2. Same as in Andean Abyss. In Andean Abyss you have these little spaces where you place your bases. This is not the case here. You can only play, these spaces are not here. There is one exception. Casinos, they don't count as bases. So you can have 2 bases and in addition up to 2 casinos in a space. Okay, so that gives him, the red player, 2 additional victory points because he needs opposition plus bases. And then it's the yellow player, Directorio, and he will do an operation. Okay. Directorio can do terror in active space or assassinate a government base. Well, that is not the case actually. They cannot do any terror in Havana because they're all active, and over here it's a passive opposition. 6 or more guerrillas available or rarely would place a base. Yeah, that's the case. There are lots of guerrillas available here. So they can rally only in neutral or passive spaces. Guerrillas to underground in all spaces with all active Directorio guerrillas, a Directorio base and a cube. Well, that is nowhere the case here. Place bases where there are at least 3 Directorio guerrillas and room. Well, that would be over here, but they can only rally in passive spaces, and this has active support, so it won't be possible here. Place guerrillas at all Directorio bases, then with Directorio guerrillas, then 1 random. Okay, so that means he will place 1 here. That cost him 1 and another 1 random. So we have a table here for random spaces. We're going to roll 2 dice. Now let's use the dice tray here. Okay, that's a 4 and a 1, green 4. So that would be Kamaguye. and that already happened. And the city is not possible because there is active support. Sierra Maestra is also not possible, there is active opposition. Santiago de Cuba, that is possible. There is passive opposition, so they're gonna place a guerrilla here. Okay, then we're going to see a special activity. That was rally. It says subvert in a province with DR control. So subverting means I think you can take money or resources, earn resources from another player. So let's see, add the selected province's population value to directorial resources and set the space to neutral. Let's see. Okay, that is not the... No, it's not from another player. You simply earn the money. So right now, 26 July is not at victory. Otherwise, remove the most support. Okay, now let's see. Where would that be possible? Damn it. It's a little bit complicated here. Any DR-controlled province. Okay, that is nowhere the case. The only one where they can do it is in Camagüey, basically. At highest population, neutral if possible. Okay, so they're gonna do it here. That means this goes away now. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, damn. There is a lot to keep track of. Add the selected province's population value and set the space to neutral. Okay, so gives $1 and the space is neutral, so that means the 26th of July will lose 1 victory point. Okay, end of turn. Let's see what happens next. SIM, and this is the next one. Fine. So let's see. This is card number 4. Batista's secret police were effective agents of counterinsurgency, but were also known for torture and political murders. Insurgents' worst fear was being handed over to the SIM. Okay, let's see. That would be police sweep and assault as if troops. Is that good? Oh, that's not bad, I guess. Still, I would love to sweep because that would allow me to destroy a not to sweep but to assault, because now that would allow me to destroy here a base and also here. No, here I can only destroy this agent or this guerrilla here. Still, it's really tempting to do this. I think I prefer to do an assault action here. In each space, remove 1 active guerrilla or base for each troops cube. Base is last. City or EC, remove 1 piece for every cube. So that's amazing anyway. Mountain, remove 1 only for every 2 troops. Ah, damn it. So that's not that cool. It's going to be hard in the Sierra Madre then, Sierra Maestra. Anyway, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do an assault here in Havana. Santiago de Cuba. And shit. I mean, it's nearly impossible to do it here in the Sierra Maestra. I think that doesn't make much sense. So, on the other hand, I might be able to do an airstrike maybe. And then only the bases would be left. Maybe I will do this. So, okay, let's see. First I got to pay $6. So I got 25 left. Then, in the cities, I can remove active guerrillas for each cube. That's so. Or base for each troop's cube. Base is last. Cities, remove one piece for every cube. Okay, fine. So that means I can remove these three suckers here. Then I can remove that one here. And then the base. I cannot remove this guy because he's not active, he's underground. I haven't found him yet. But that means he loses a victory point. And then I can remove one guerrilla here. Sadly only one because these are mountains. But then I can actually do an airstrike, I guess. Here, any one province or EC. Remove one active guerrilla or base is last. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna kill this guy here in the Sierra Maestra. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. So that was my action now. Oh, I forgot to remove the pawns from the last one. Fine. Okay, so that was my action, and now the casino. He might do an event, but let's see, there is possibly again a special rule, the SIM. No, not this time. Nope. Okay. So this time the casino triggers the event. And this is going to be a shaded text, which is pretty awesome. So, until next propaganda, police sweep and assault as if troops. That's going to help me anyway. Is that really the case? Well, I cannot find anything written here which would not allow me this. Well, that was amazing then. I was lucky here. So I'm going to take that card and place this here. And maybe you remember that in Andean Abyss there was the insurgent momentum and the government capabilities. And that happened to reflect that the government was trained by the US in these counterinsurgent tactics. So the government would become stronger in time. Here it's a little different because the insurgents become stronger in time, and well, the relations to the US are more of a problem for the government, so they become weaker, which might make this game harder to play solo because you cannot gain an early victory here as the solitaire government player. You have to survive the whole game, which is different to a multiplayer game. Okay, so that was the end of that turn. So this is Eloy Guterres Menoyo. Let's see who that was. Eloy Guterres Menoyo led the Segundo Frente Nacional del Escambray after he broke with Román over leadership of the Revolutionary Directorate in Escambray. Imprisoned for 22 years after the revolution, he was embraced by the exile community, then vilified when he returned to Cuba. He died in 2012. Okay, so this is going to be the yellow player first, and he's going to trigger the event, replace a non-DR, non-casino piece within one space of Las Villas with 2 DR guerrillas. Okay, so I assume this has to be this cube. Yeah, Las Villas is here, so it has to be basically that cube, and you can place 2 guerrillas here, which sucks. And then we're going to see an operation by 26th July. So they cannot do any terror operations because there are not any guerrillas of them in play. So they definitely will rally. Okay. Place bases, place guerrillas at 26th July bases. Then with 26th July guerrillas, then 1 random. Okay, so let's see. If you rally, you can place quite a bit of guerrillas if you have a base somewhere. So place 1 guerrilla or replace 2 with a base. If base, instead either place guerrillas up to twice population plus twice bases. So okay, they're gonna rally here then. Twice population is 2 plus twice bases is 4, so he can place 6 guerrillas here, which completely sucks. And it's gonna be basically impossible to get them out now off the Sierra Maestra. Okay, well, fine. And then, let me see, rally, then place, then with 26 guerrillas, this won't happen, then random. Okay, so they're gonna place another 1 random somewhere. So that was 2 and 1 in Havana, which is not possible because it's active support. Pinar del Rio, no. Yeah, that is possible. Matanzas. So we're going to see a single guerrilla. I think it's a single one. Rally, one guerrilla. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to place a guerrilla here in Matanzas. That means he's got to pay $2. And this is it then. No, it isn't. He can do a special activity then. Infiltrate in a non-support space within one space of an underground 26 July guerrilla. Infiltration is also a new action or activity compared to Andean Abyss. A space without support, including an economic center, with or next to an underground guerrilla. Procedure: remove or replace one cube there. Police first, with a 26th July guerrilla, then take any cash removed. Okay, so that means target cash if possible, otherwise a faction with greater 0 resources. No, wait a second, that was kidnap, infiltrate here. At an economic center if possible, otherwise to take cash, otherwise to remove last police from a space, otherwise elsewhere at random. So let's see. They cannot remove cash, they cannot enter an economic center, because there are no cubes in economic centers. Okay, so that means they will do this either here in La Habana or in San... No, that's not true. It has to be... Damn it, that is complicated. It has to be a space without support. Okay, so that means it has to be either in Oriente or in Santiago de Cuba. So let's roll a die here. Could be also Las Villas, by the way. Yeah, okay, these 3 are possible. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is Oriente. That sucks. I was afraid that was the worst, actually. So this is removed, and what happens instead? Yeah, they're simply going to place a 26th July guerrilla there in Oriente. Yeah, I say we do about 2 more turns maybe. So this goes away now. You see the next one. Escopeteros. So that is 31. Many local peasants wanted to join the insurgents, but both the Directorio and the 26th July were wary of taking them into their ranks. The government often attempted to infiltrate the guerrilla camps with these new recruits, but even if they weren't informers, the peasants often were more of a burden to the insurgents than a benefit. Still, the supply of recruits used to hard work and familiar with local terrain were of great benefit. Okay, so the Syndicate can go first, in this case here, because only the Syndicate and me are eligible. So what will happen? Syndicate will do the event, and let's see, damn it. All these sheets makes you crazy to handle all these things. Okay, is there anything Escopeteros? No, seems to, they will simply trigger the event. Yeah. Okay. Traditionalist countryside rejects rebellion. Shift a mountain space one level toward active support. That is cool. Question is now, which one will that be? Okay, I guess we're going to roll again. So that's 1 to 3, and that is 4 to 6. Okay, so there's this one. This is now only passive support. And that means this guy will lose another one. Okay. And then I can do an operation, and I'm going to do this. I wonder what to do. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a train operation. I want to protect my base here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, okay, let's bring these guys in here. And then possibly some here to Santiago de Cuba. Okay. Well, I think what I want to do is I definitely want to place, well, possibly, I wonder, I think I want to place 3 troops here in Oriente. I wonder if I should place all 4 troops there, but for some reason I'm not exactly willing to do this. To 4 cubes. I could also place, I think I will place wait a minute. Okay, it can be actually cubes. It don't have to be troops. So I think I'm gonna place 2 troops here. Maybe 3, and 1 police. And then I'm gonna place another one here, Santiago de Cuba. And I got 2 police left. I wonder if I should place them also. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, damn it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's bring the police in here. It's gonna be fine, I guess. Okay. So, and then, well, first I have to pay $4 to do this. Oops. So that's 21. And then I can buy 1 civic action. And I'm going to do that here. I'm going to pay $4, and then I can remove this opposition marker here. So that brings me down to 17, and these guys lose 2 more points. So 26 July is really looking bad right now. Okay, then I can do a transport action, and I can only do a transport action. So that means move up to 3 troops from city or base to any one space. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3 troops here to Las Villas from Camagüey. Yeah. Okay. And that's then the end of this turn, I guess. Let's do another one, a last one. Okay, so this says Llano. And that's card number 42. The Llano, literally a plain or flat space, was a term for the Cuban urban underground. While the popular myth of the Cuban Revolution emphasized the victory of Fidel's guerrillas in the mountains, recent scholarship has emphasized the importance of the urban revolution in Cuba. The poor and middle class provided both urban guerrillas and material aid to the insurgent groups in rural areas. Okay, so the Syndicate could go first, but sadly they are ineligible. So we're going to see now the 26th July. That's definitely not cool. Slums to arms, place a 26th July base and any guerrilla in a city. Okay. Is there anything special about that? Nope. Okay, so let's roll again randomly for the city. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that would be Camagüey. And we're going to see a base and a guerrilla there. Huh. Well, not that great. Okay, well that kind of sucks. And then the Deditorio can do an operation. Okay, can they assassinate a government base? No, and there is also no active space where they can do any terror. So they will rally again and place bases where there are at least 3 guerrillas. That's not the case anywhere. Place guerrillas at all DR bases, then with DR guerrillas, then 1 random. Okay, so they can only rally in passive or neutral spaces, I guess. Provinces or cities. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they're gonna rally here and here and here. We already have a pawn there. Okay, so these are 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then another random space, I think. Yeah, okay. That is 5 and 4. So that would be Santiago de Cuba, but that's already happened, so it's Oriente. Okay, that is possible. So I think I'm going to place a government control marker here, just to keep that in mind. And by the way, that should go here. Okay. Fine. More or less. So they paid already $3 for that. I think so. Pretty sure they did. But one more for the random space. Okay. And then they have a special action, special activity, which would be subvert in a province with DR control. So that is only in Camagüey the case. Okay, so the space is already at neutral, and that means they only gain $1 for that. Okay. So that was the end of that turn, basically. I don't know. It's not looking that great anymore, I think. Well, I would love to keep Las Villas. That's a valuable province. So this is going to be a tough fight. I think I'm going to give up here on the Sierra Maestra. Let's see. Let's see what happens in the next one. Hope to see you then, or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.